Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time for another episode of Roundtable Mindset.
Okay, I wasn't ready for that much energy. That's amazing, Jamie. Season 3, look at you. You're all ready to go.
I'm, dare I say it, excited.
There we are. Old habits. I was waiting for those to resurface.
Well, it's the energy we're bringing this evening. That's what it's about.
Well, if you can't tell already, listeners, we are going to have a fun Season 3 compared to Season 2. So, we've got to start off, I guess, being a little punchy.
No more albatross around our neck every week.
Every episode, every conversation. No, I know we've kind of already discussed this, but just as a reminder, this summer really took some time to really reflect on Season 2. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized the decision we made to kind of end it, as well as change direction, was probably for the good, because there was just a lot to always think about and always discuss. And I'm really looking forward to Season 3 being lighter, more airy. I'm going to say fun. Fun's a good word.
Right. In a difficult, no, just kidding. No, it's going to be
fun conversation in a difficult topic. There you go. No. I'm looking forward to this season being one where we're going to be able to look at a lot of different topics and use our unique perspectives to shine different lights into it, right? Like, I'm looking forward to saying, I think I said this before, might even said this in the end of Season 2. I'm looking forward for us to use our differences to highlight different perspectives, and also to kind of find out different things, maybe about ourselves, but also it's not just about tearing down. I think Season 3 is about coming together and finding out what's different, but what makes the differences great.
Well, and I do think, I guess, looking down the road at Season 3, I also think we're going to learn some new things, which is fun. I think, I don't know. I think we're at our best when we can do that. It has been nice this summer to be able to have some fun conversations with you and not be like, so let's rehash the last episode because I got some things that I need to say.
But we still do that too. I mean, let's completely transparent. Even before we turned on the mics today, we were having just a light, casual conversation, about all things women's rights, abortion, religion. I think we sprinkled in everything but politics. But you know what? We did it with style and grace.
Well, we are being kind of intentional about the politics these days. So.
Yes.
It's probably for the best, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's something that what was missing for me, which I know Season 3 we're going to inject back into it. After listening and after kind of digesting where we landed with Season 2, I was ready to feel like I was going to help people. And I remember we talked about this, Jamie, at the beginning of our podcast, Season 1. I was like, you know what? I just want to share different perspectives, talk about what's there, help people, help myself, help you. Like, I just wanted to be real positive. And I think the attitude of that was great. And I think the intention of Season 2 was, okay, let's dive into some difficult conversations and unpack some of that stuff, because nobody really likes to talk about difficult conversations. And I think the message got lost in Season 2, and
Maybe,
it was not
just a little.
I'm looking forward to us helping again and having some uplifting conversations in Season 3. Having some conversations that don't step on toes all the time is what I'm looking for, and I'm kind of excited about, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think we started out with that intention even in Season 2. But I think it's like too much of a good thing, right?
Right. We had too much dessert all the time.
Right. Like, you can't have cheesecake for every meal of every day and nothing else. You need some protein and some fiber too. So Season 3 is about pulling in some fiber again, right?
Our theme for Season 3 is balanced. We're going to balance everything out. I don't have my list right up here, and I don't want to say all this stuff. But we have some real, when we just to let everyone know, when we finally let season 2 air out and we took some time and we kind of just was like, okay, let's refocus back to
Well,
podcasting.
let's be real honest. We had some different difficult conversations about all of the difficult
Oh
conversations.
yeah.
I mean, we had to
Yeah.
rehash and kind of, yeah, air that out just a little.
Yeah, it was fun. But when we started talking about the topics that we wanted to do for season 3, when we finally got over that whole I'm going to call it ugliness of rehashing and talking about season 2 and all the stuff that was going on. When we put all that down and started thinking, okay, let's refocus. What do we want to talk about, right? Like we're the captains of our own ship. What do we want to discuss?
Because we weren't in season 2.
We weren't. We were being held hostage by I don't know what, but it was amazing how when we started just spitballing, how it just flew out of us, right?
Hmm.
And I think we have over like 100 and some different topics that we can choose from. And so, again, listeners, if you're still with us, season 3, I'm telling you, it is going to be a breath of fresh air. A lot of some of the, I'm going to say a lot of new stuff, but some of the same things. Jamie and I are still going to be Jamie and I. Can't help but not like pick at each other a little bit.
Now and
But
then.
that's not the focus. The
Right.
focus isn't let's talk about difficult conversations by having a difficult conversation. The difference is let's take this new topic and look at it from different points of view and bring guests on that can help us expand the points of view. And then what could we learn to better each other or our own lives? That to me is what's different.
Well, and speaking of guests, I feel like I'm super looking forward to. I'm still on a growth journey, people. Bear with me here. I no,
For
I'm
sure, for sure.
That's a throwback. I'm definitely looking forward to some of our guests. We've got some returning guests. We definitely I think it's safe to say we have Dr. Krista returning.
Okay,
So
in all sense, I got to tell you. So, okay, we're gonna pause here since this is just when you told me about Dr. Krista. Again, just know me is not. I don't just accept everybody, right? Like I'm like, okay, what's their angle? What's going on? I'll say I'm kind of the cynic of the both of us, right? You were bragging up Dr. Krista and you were saying all these wonderful things, and I was like, well, let's try her out and see, right? And you're like, no, she's wonderful. I'm like, mm-hmm. Let me just tell you, she is fantastic. So I absolutely adore Dr. Krista. And Dr. Krista, if you're listening, you're like becoming one of my favorite people of all time. Like super interesting, very easy to talk to, kind-hearted. I mean, everything that you were saying, Jamie, check, 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 and check. And I would almost say, and I don't say this very often. First of all, I don't say you're right most of the time very often.
right, right.
But now I can say, I think you were underselling her a little bit.
Oh,
She's freaking tastic. Like she's amazing. Okay, there,
so
I'm done.
I was going to say, so Dr. Chris, if you're listening, Malin wants to have you pencil him in for coffee when he's in town next, which will be.
Well, I want her to come to me and have coffee. So when can you get here? I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
there you go. There you go. Oh, it's good. No, she'll be returning for a couple of episodes we have planned with her. We have some new guests coming, some topics that there's some topics that are kind of a stretch, I think, for both of us, which is different. I feel like we usually tend to gravitate to a topic that you and I are one of us is passionate about, right? Like one of us is it's really important to us, but we've got some topics where it's a little out of both of our depth, I think. So
I
that'll
think I know
be.
the one you're talking about. And I was like, I don't even know how we even get there.
I know, I know. I don't even want to put it out there yet, just because. But yeah, I think. Oh, and returning guests. I hope you guys listen because we've got some fun guests returning that will be like coming home, like old friends. I'm so excited.
Right. Well, and some people were pulling out of retirement. Some people were touching back on the shoulder. Like it's just, I don't know. I like what you just said. It's like coming home. It's like having a family reunion sometimes with a couple of these guests that we have.
Yes.
And the new guest that we have, I mean, we were kind of shooting for the moon a little bit, and I think we landed pretty close to where we wanted to, which is, it's kind of surprising when you go and you ask people to come on your podcast. I've learned over the years that it's a very personal thing. Like, a lot of people want to do their best job for you. They want to come on. They want to know who you are, what you represent. And to have someone say, "Yeah, I'd like to come on your podcast. I like what you're doing." It's it's just a huge, like, confidence, and it's knowing that they have listened to some of your content and they believe in what you're doing and they want to be part of it. So that's really, um we don't take that lightly. And so we've had a lot of recurring guests coming on, like Jamie was saying, but then we have some new guests that are just fantastic. And they also believe in what we're doing and the changes that we want to make, and they want to be part of it. And it's just so humbling when you can get people that are as excited as you are to talk about the same things that you want to talk about. And they are the experts, right? Like, to echo what you were saying, I am not even, there's one topic in particular I'm not even remotely familiar with. And we
Mhm.
have an expert coming that's like, I don't even like, I'm so nervous that I'm going to say something stupid, or I'm not even going to be able to have an intelligent conversation, that it's making me kind of worried, to be honest.
It's so funny because watching you with this guest reminds me of how excited I was to have a presidential candidate on our podcast. Like, I was so nerding out over that, and it kinda reminds me of the same thing. You're like, "Oh my gosh, here he comes." So
Well, I think I understand now where you were so excited when he was coming on. Again, I love all of our guests, right? All of our guests.
absolutely.
But there are some moments where, when we're prepping, you get a little bit more excited than I do, and then I get more excited than you do. And it's just kind of when we both have the moment where we can say, "Oh, I see why you were so excited about the other one." It just makes me giggle too, because not that you don't care, because you do, but like, you are not as excited as I am. And I remember I was not as excited as you were. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to have the conversation." But you were just really excited. So
Well,
I get that now.
I am excited. I'm just not as nervous or something. I can't figure out what I don't know that I can name that emotion for you, but I'm, like, ready for that conversation to just be an open book. It'll be fun. It's deep. Um, it's definitely some deep waters, but I'm in for it. I'm excited to see how that goes. So,
Well, and to kind of leave the whole guest and topic, since we're being super vague, let's unveil our new segment in our show, which I gotta say, I'm loving, by the way.
yes, we are, so if you've been with us from the beginning, one
Thank
of
you, first of all.
yeah, right. How are you doing? That's the question I no, I'm just
Right,
kidding.
right.
Let's check in. Um, one of my favorite things about season 1 was when we did food for thought. Um,
Loved food for
it
thought.
was so much fun. But I will not lie to all of you faithful listeners to tell you that there were some days that we were getting ready to record, and I'm like, I got nothing. Like, nothing. There was no anecdote this week that taught me anything. There was nothing that surprised me. And then we had, saucy nugs, right? So
Hey, I still remember Saucy Nugs. I love Saucy Nugs. I now remember, or I've heard on the news the other day, I think it was Wendy's that calls them, some fast food place calls
saucy
them
nugs.
Saucy
Yeah.
Nugs. I'm gonna say they listened, and thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
If you get royalties, I will, yeah, I'll give it to you, but no, I'm just joking. But, I mean, when you're pulling at straws, it gets a little tough sometimes, so we were like, so we kinda went away with that in season 2, and I think that might have been part now that I think about it, we didn't have any of those fun things in season 2. I'm wondering if that
No,
maybe was part of
because we were too busy breaking bottles trying to cut each other. That's what it was about. I mean,
So, I'm hoping that our new segment will bring something new to the table and be something fun that we can talk about. And it's, yes. So our new segment, do you want to introduce it or can I?
you go ahead and go for it.
Okay, thank you. Our new segment is called Mindset Mythbusters. where we take a new mindset every week and we bust the myth around it. Because I was shocked going through the list that we made of how many of those I'd like to kind of adopt and own. And so it's going to be a whole season of growth for us.
Right. Well, and these things are, I mean, by themselves, let's be clear, they can be their own episodes, right? Like
Mhm.
we went through the list and it was one of those things that once we landed on it, we're like, first of all, why didn't we think about this from the beginning? Like this is awesome. This fits right
'Cause
into
it
what
kind
we're
of
trying to
goes with
do.
our podcast.
Right. It's like, this fits nicely. And then we started talking about, well, what's some of the mindsets that you have that's not right, or it's false, or there's an odd slant to it. And so we kind of just came up with the whole myth busting mindset. And then we started talking, and it was like a river came out of all, like, both of us. Like, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And I think before long, it's like some crazy number. I don't even remember the number, but it's like we have a list. We have
Yeah.
pages of topics of
S
just
so you're secure for the
myth
next
busting.
17 seasons. We have Mindset Mythbusters all set out for the for the
Yeah.
foreseeable future.
And what's interesting about that is that some of them are going to be learning opportunities, right? Like, because we pick stuff that maybe, the normal stuff is I know something you don't, or you know something I don't. But a lot of them on there are ones that are like, I'm not very familiar at all. But that's, I think, it's going to make it fun. Is maybe our guests will join in, and maybe we'll just join in, or maybe we'll just have to do some research and say, hey, this is what we know, not very much, but here's what sounds odd about that myth,
Mhm.
right? I don't know. It's been fun to even brainstorm. I can't wait to start putting it into practice. I think it's going to be a great, great conversation.
No, I completely agree. I think what's interesting is how many of those mindset myths are kind of implicit. You know what I mean? Like, they're just either they were adopted through our family culture, or some of them I think are totally Midwest things. Like, I think they're just Midwest mindsets. Um, and I also think that a lot of them, as I was looking through them again the other day, I think a lot of them they're not always bad. You know what I mean? Some of them are true. Some of them can be true. But when you, either turn it to weaponize them for yourself or for someone else, it becomes
Ooh, why would you
problematic.
weaponize them? That's ugly, Jamie. Why
Ooh,
would you
well,
weaponize?
some of them, I'm not gonna lie, some of them I'm like, okay, that thought keeps me up at night. Thank you."
No,
Uh,
I'm totally kidding, because that's where I usually go. I usually go like, emotional EQ. Well, how can I use that to manipulate people? Not that
seriously.
I would, but I'm just saying you can use it.
We don't
So
have any specific the dark side of episodes planned this season, but I'm sure we'll get there in within the season.
we kind of have to.
Yeah, a little bit. But so no, I'm
No,
super excited about
yeah.
Mindset Mythbusters.
No, I thought it was a fun idea, and again, it was one of those things that we're just like, why didn't we think about this before? Um, I think that's mostly the big changes, right? Like, I think the rest of the format's going to be about the same. We're always looking for people to join, or we're still, if you have an idea that you'd like to send us, just go ahead and find us on social media.
Or if you wanna be a guest and you wanna come
Yeah,
talk about it, let's do it. I'm so game. I do, and we did make this change last season, but I do feel like we have, I don't know, we've kind of grown and evolved a little bit as far as, like, technology and the way that we record and our ability to bring guests in and things like that. It's kind of fun. So, we are always looking to continue growing and evolving in this craft of ours, where we are making our little way
yep, make
forward.
our way. Our cadence is going to stay the same of episodes being released. So with this one, you should be able to get one the second and fourth Thursday of every month. And then I'm going to go ahead and say something now, Jamie, even though we're just kind of kicking around. We usually take the summer off, and I'm wondering if we have something in mind that we can do record release throughout the summer. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Just know that you probably will be hearing us throughout the year now, rather than just, through September through May. So
Well,
more to come.
I was gonna say we kind of can you tell we're a little gun shy after the abrupt ending of our season 2 to be like, "So, we have all these grand plans," and then they change, and so we definitely don't wanna
Well,
put too much out, but
I will say everybody that reached out and was like, "Hey, is everything okay, or is everything going on?" I was like, "We're fine. Jamie and I are fine." Um, which kind of makes me laugh because I will say, since we're just you and us and our thousands of listeners, I will say we had a lot of people tell us, "Oh, we want to hear the behind the scenes of you and Jamie," and kind of wanted the dirt, right? And so we made a decision. Well, we don't want this to be a Jerry Springer podcast, right? Like that's not the point. And it's so funny because we didn't share any of that. And I still had people reach out to me and be like, "Are you and Jamie okay?" It's like, could you imagine if they heard all the stuff that we say to each other off mic? I mean, I don't I, I don't think they could have handled it, to be quite
I
honest.
don't know that they could have either, because we were gonna record this, like, 2 weeks ago, and we couldn't, so, like, we started talking about other things and just decided to postpone, so we had better energy.
Right. Right.
It's
No.
good.
But I say thank you to everyone who's listening. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're here for season 3. It's going to be a lot of new stuff. It's going to be a lot of the old stuff, but I think it's going to be a good mix. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. That's what I'm calling it.
Well, and we are kind of hopeful that it will bring in some of the behind the scenes stuff, you know what I mean? Not so much like the after call and things like that, but maybe, we're hoping that it's a window to let you get to know us a little more and our friendship a little more, because I think that's what makes this a fun project is that, I get to do it with my bestie. And that's what made it so important to me to refocus and reevaluate and move forward in a different direction. So we are gonna keep doing us, only with the growth that we had from learning in season 2. You know what? Here's the other thing about season 2, and I'm just gonna put this out there. I feel like remember at the end of season 1 where we're like, "Look at all the things we learned, let's put it into practice. We're gonna have difficult conversations every single time we talk, and we're gonna use all the tools that we just learned," right? And I'm thinking maybe we should have waited for 5th grade instead of kindergarten to be done before
Well,
we tried some of those
well,
topics.
and we didn't take into account our personal lives and how like society and political landscapes changing and you know circumstances and life events and everything else that also shapes who you are as a person
Mhm.
also would step in and have a place at the table. So, in an isolation bubble, at least how I was thinking, I think it would have worked great. Then reality steps up, and you're like, okay, I have a lot of external things pressing on us. And I liked what you said. I'm very much interested in getting back to being part, I will say, focusing on our personality and our friendship and what makes us work, not just the mechanics of it. It kind of felt like season 2 was a job. Season 1 was fun and was something that was enjoyable. Season 2 was like punching a clock 9 to 5. So I'm kind of ready to get back into that fun atmosphere of this is just us doing what we do
Yeah.
and hanging out most of the time and having a good time and laughing, and I'm ready for that.
I've definitely missed the microphones, so yeah, we're
JB wears her headphones to bed. I'm ready. I'm ready.
okay, literally, I was watching, I have a a TikToker that I follow who has, like, YouTube and all the stuff, right? He's a psychologist, and him and his wife, like, watch reality TV shows and then, like, talk about it, the dynamics and the relationships and all of that. And just the other day, she was like, "There's a new season, honey, there's a new season," and he flips around in bed with his microphone and his headphones. He's like, "I'm ready, let's do this." And I'm like felt a little bit like getting ready to record our season opener with you. It
I
was
love that
great.
so
It was
much.
great.
Just like I'm already there. Turn the mics on. Let's do it.
I definitely need, like, some content creation creativity because I am hoping to come back with the TikToks this season. Those were
Yeah.
fun to make when I was able to to do some of them. So
Yeah, I think if I, again, if we're reminiscing, I think lessons learned. And I think I said this like in another day. I don't think we would have jumped out with every platform, social media platform out there. I think we would have focused it because I think slowly what we've done is we've focused on the ones that we use the most rather
right.
than, hey, we're on every platform
You can find
ever.
us everywhere, which would be
Right?
fine if this was my full-time job, but
Right? Right?
this is
It's just
literally
like,
like weekend warrior
yeah.
work right here.
Well, and podcasts are meant to be fun, right? They're meant to be quirky. They're not meant to be quite so polished and perfection and researched. And I mean, at least not the one that we're creating. It has fun facts and it has interesting facts, and then it's mixed in with our personalities and probably our not so polished presentation, which I don't think I'm going to shy away from anymore. I think it's just a matter of this is who we are. I'm going to say for me, this is who I am, and I think I'm to the point now as a what would be considered a junior now because we've done freshman, sophomore now. This is our junior year,
We're
season
ready for
3.
varsity, haha.
So I think I've grown comfortable in my own skin enough to say I don't have to just worry about it being perfect all the time, and that's really freeing. And I think that's where the fun comes back.
I no, I completely agree. I also think, I don't know, I think the I here's how we end it. Here's how we work on this to finish our little intro episode. I would love to hear what your hope fast forward to the end of season 3. What do you hope we've accomplished in season 3?
For me personally, um, I hope we've laughed more than we've argued. That's number one. Number two, I want to still learn some really cool stuff that I had no idea. And if I can learn from other people that actually have the experience or the knowledge, that's wonderful. And I think the third one, if I had to pull something out of the air just to say, I'd like to be able to learn something about myself that I didn't expect. Um, I go back to when we were having conversations and we were talking about biases. I'm just going to throw that out there. We won't have to go too far into it. But learning even some of the biases, I started understanding, well, heck, a lot of those apply to me. I'm interested in some of our mindset mythbusters. There was
Mhm,
some on the list that I'm like, I adopt those heavily.
mhm.
And I'm really interested in kind of breaking through some of those and learning something about myself and maybe challenging myself. I know that was probably, I'm going to call those 3. There was probably 5 there, but what about you? What do you,
Maybe even 7.
no, I'm going to say 5, but I'm going to count 3. So what about you, JB? What you look down the road, we're done the last episode of season 3. What do you see?
I hope that someone tells us that we helped them see something different or something new. Um, I am constantly impressed and humbled that the things that we decide to put out is is meaningful to someone else, and that is a cool thing. So I hope that we bring something that is helpful for people this season. I hope that we bring something that I grow from. Um, I think something that I have learned is that I still have things to learn. And so, I definitely although, um although there's lots of, conflict and polarization and things like that that happens so much in our world right now, I hope that I can still keep an open mind, to see things in a different way. And I hope we try something new this season. Like, I wanna take this and grow it a little bit somehow. So that's kind of what I hope we land on by the end of season 3.
I was thinking that you were trying to tell us because we had an idea. I'm not going to try to give too much away. When you say try something new, I was wondering if you were talking about that one. Remember when we used to do talk about it Tuesdays,
Oh.
and there was that app that we were going to use?
Oh. Oh.
I thought when you were saying try something new, I was like, that's the first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, I wonder if we're gonna finally do that?
Why didn't we do that? Oh, why
Because we
isn't that
just
on the season? We need to do that because that would be way
yeah.
fun. That would be way fun.
Well, I think we were waiting for us to be in the same location because I think that would be
Oh,
fun.
yeah, that's true.
That would be interesting, but
Oh, we'll have to get some little mini mics that we can use our phones to record while we go and have this adventure. I think that would be fun.
it would be fun. Everyone that's listening is like, "Well, I wanna know." Well, I don't wanna overpromise and underdeliver, so I'm just gonna keep quiet, but that's where I thought you were going.
That's a good idea. But I think we have a couple of things that we're kind of tossing around as things that we might try new and different and see how it works. And so no, I don't know that I have one specific thing in mind necessarily. Um, but yeah, I just want to stretch and grow. That's what I'm hoping for this season. I think if I could probably ball it up in one thing, I want to stretch and grow this season. I want to try some new things. And
I'm gonna reframe that or rephrase that. You wanna stretch and grow in a positive way and not in a negative environment that we were creating for season 2.
I don't know that that was
Because we were
stretching and growing. I think that was
we were
like
stretching
lashing
and
and
growing.
recoiling.
No, no, we were trying to grow and broaden our horizons, and it was just, "Here, listen to me," bang you over the head with a club. I said, "Listen to me."
Which still would have been okay if it hadn't been week after week after week. I think that was really what it was. It was that episode after episode after episode. Because I do
It got
think that
exhausting.
those conversations are things that I can usually grow from, to hear the way you reflect me back to me sometimes. That's really eye-opening for me to hear your perception of things that I'm saying. And you said that the other day when we were talking, like, when I hear your perception of me, sometimes it can be hurtful, but it also is important for me to know that because then I can adjust and grow. You know what I mean?
Well, I do, and when you hear it every once in a while, you're like, "Oh, I need to take notice," because it's not often. When you have a conversation where every single time it's reflection, reflection, suddenly I go tone deaf, right? Like, I don't even hear it anymore because it's every time we talk. So,
I can't even tell you. It's so weird to think back. Even just what was that? 6 months? 6
yeah, it
months?
feels like a fever dream. It actually I have to go back and listen to some of the
I
episodes, and I have
haven't.
to remind myself, like, we really did this week after week after week?
I'm afraid I have not listened to season 2. Like, after season 1, I would listen to make sure the audio was okay and just listen for fun. I didn't do that in season 2. And literally by the end, I was, like, gearing up for battle or something. It was awful.
I would recommend because I've had some friends that have started listening to season 2 again, and they provided some feedback, and I have one friend, I think, just started listening to season 2, and it's all been great positive feedback because I think as much as we felt the conversation, I do think we did a really good job kind of setting the stage and keeping it professional and keeping it light as much as we could. Um, because all I've been getting is really good positive feedback. So I don't think it's as terrible as you remember it. I mean, there were some episodes in there. I remember the empathy one, right? We
Mhm.
talked about empathy. That was a good one. That was to me, I learned a lot. I thought there was a lot of self-reflection, a lot of great stuff. There was also some really hard conversations. Probably the crown jewel, and I know we did this in the recap, so I'm not going to keep going into it. For me, was that narcissist. I can't tell you how many people still will reach out and say, I've learned a lot because we had Dr. Krista on there. We shared some really personal and specific examples of what we had to go through. And that right there, it has helped a lot of people, and that's been really cool to see. So there's really good moments,
Don't
but
you think, though, I almost think that those episodes of about narcissism with, like, Dr. Krista and, um, oh, Human AF, right? Because we did an
oh,
episode on
becoming human AF, yeah,
Becoming
they
Human
started
AF.
the yep.
Yes. Those episodes, I feel were kind of like the turning I feel like those were like the turning point where we both were focused not on, pointing out the differences as much as looking at something that can be very problematic and difficult and processing it and, you know, examining it in a different way together. And that was kind of the inspiration
It
for
was.
this whole season, was to say, "Hey, look at what we could do even in the middle of what was some really difficult times in our friendship," I think, um, because of the difficult conversations that we had been through. And and it helped us refocus for this whole season. So I'm kind of excited about that because I think that that was a big turning point for us.
Well, one of the lessons that I've learned is, we've joked about it at the beginning here, but you can't always have dessert every meal. Well, one part of our personalities, our friendship is self-reflection and also being that mirror for each other and to have difficult conversations. But that's not all of who we are.
Mhm,
And when you take, I think the same thing could be said if all we were jokey all the time. I think we would get to the end of that and be like, well, that's not who we are either. We're more than just jokes and, cutting up with one another or, sarcastically jabbing at one another. And I think that's what that season 2 really taught me was we need to show all aspects of our personalities, our opinions, and our friendship, not just one piece of it. And that's what season 2 was. Season 2 was us really hyper focused on one segment of who we are and what our friendship is.
mhm.
And that's something that I think we should avoid because we should show all aspects. And that's what those episodes that you just pointed out, that's when we were hitting on all cylinders and we were coming at it from more than just it's a difficult conversation. It's a difficult conversation, but here's how you either survive through it, or here's how you overcome it, or here's how you can make the most out of it and turn it into something positive. And that was really, as you said, that was the turning point. That was the one that we said, hey, we want to do something different than season 2. We went to those episodes and said, okay, what made these so much more special? And how do we continue to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I learned.
Yeah, I think this season we're gonna be able to pick those things up, like, pick up these topics, pick up these discussions, and really examine it, see what fits, and see what doesn't, and that's okay. And that's, kinda back to where we started.
Basics.
It's like a yeah, it's like a homecoming. So I'm glad for that. Um, so I guess just to yeah, I don't know, put it out there. We are we are releasing, happy almost Labor Day, by the way, everyone who celebrates Labor Day, because we all should, because we all
Long
labor.
weekend, here
I
I
know,
come.
so excited. But we will be releasing the 2nd and 4th Tuesday or Thursdays, 2nd and 4th Thursdays. Watch me put it out there wrong. You're all gonna be disappointed. We're gonna over promise and under deliver from the word go here. But, the 2nd and 4th Thursdays of the month, you can find us on all of the major podcasting platforms. Maybe not all the social media platforms, but definitely
Not
all
all
the
the social
major
media.
major podcasting platforms. And yeah, we hope you'll join us for the ride, and we're pretty excited to bring this to you guys and see what you think.
Yeah, and thanks for hanging in there with us for, since the beginning. And those of you that are just joining us, go back, take a listen. They're worth it. There's a lot in there. You can actually see the evolution of our podcast, which I always think we joked about that, but it's always been kind of fun to go back when you have somebody you've been listening to kind of hear where they start and hear where they kind of go.
Yeah,
And that's our journey. We're not any different than that. Um,
we should have a raffle. Oh, did we say though? Because we should have a raffle to see if you can tell which episode we got our new podcasting, like, recording
we
equipment.
already
Did we
we
tell
already said,
did we say we did it? Okay, bummer.
yeah.
Because 'cause I'm like, go back and listen to season 1 and see if you can see.
Because you can.
That
I
was a
mean,
big oh my gosh,
hey, this is Bailey.
what were we thinking? And we were so excited about the first stuff, like, "This is
Yeah,
amazing." It
we
was
were.
terrible.
But that's again, that's how you've kind of advanced and moved forward. But again, just thank you everyone and appreciate you being here. We're excited for you. I hope you enjoy season 3. I'm gonna enjoy season 3. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm not gonna be so bogged down and have to have everything just perfect. And we're going to let the conversations go where they need to go. We're going to be a little bit more off the cuff. We're not a scripted podcast by any means. And I think season 3, we're just going to be like, you know what? Let's bullet point it and just let's start talking and bring facts when we need to bring facts, bring a guest when we need to bring a guest. But we're just going to have a nice conversation, lighthearted, and let's learn from one another and let's help each other. I
Yes.
think that's really a good thing to kind of capstone season 3.
Yes. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we do want to hear from you. So please feel free to reach out to us. We have an email address, we have a phone number, we have all kinds of fun ways to interact. But we'd love to hear from you. Any ideas you have, and if you want to join us around the round table, there is space. There's always a chair for you at the
More than
round table.
oh, look at you. Here's your Maury Povich moment. I love it.
I just
There's
need
always room for you.
I need a beach behind me, and
Uh,
here at the Round Table Mindset, we hold a place
Ocean.
for each and every one of our listeners. Just kidding.
Yes. All right. Well, it was good seeing you again, Jamie, around the table. I wanted to bring like a coffee cup or something and act like I'm sipping coffee, you know. So I don't know. I'm just trying to,
I have a Yeti.
I have I have a Coke Zero. Anyways, it was good talking to you. It was good seeing everyone. I will see you next time.
Yes, we'll see you next time around the round table. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.